Morning. Thank you everyone for coming, fraternity guys, some soccer guys, soccer girls, my dad, and everyone else who can make it. Sorry about my voice, the cough and with the weather change, it's been a little rough. I don't know if you've noticed, but kind of the theme for today so far has been, what I'm going to talk about is being lukewarm in your faith and in your life. This topic has played a role in my life since the last couple years in high school. And really, whenever I came to Westminster, Westminster kind of challenged me. I actually didn't think I was going to be speaking this year. Over the summer, when I got the email about speaking, I saw it, but I didn't respond back to it right away, and then I ended up missing the deadline. And luckily, Pastor Jim came and asked me one day if I wanted to fill in a spot, and I said that'd be awesome. And I immediately knew this is kind of what I wanted to talk about. Give a little bit of background. I did grow up with two parents, one brother, loving household, Christian household. Went to church growing up, into youth group, did all of that kind of growing up. I went to a small Christian school, and most of you know this, but when I say small, I mean small. I had 100 kids in my high school and 28 in my graduating class, so it was tiny. But it was also very filled with Christian lifestyle and Christian atmosphere. We had Bible classes, we had studies and everything like that, so I kind of grew up learning how to act, what to say, how to do everything. Because of this, the last couple years of my high school, I really kind of got into a routine. Religion became sort of a lifestyle. It wasn't more what I should be doing, it was just what I did every day, because that's what I've been doing. It kind of was just go to church, what to say, how to act and everything, but what does it actually mean? And towards my last couple of years, I kind of realized that's what I've been doing. There are basically 4 events in my life that have really helped me to keep track on my lifestyle and keep this in mind in my lifestyle. The first event was in high school. It was with a kid named Alex Heidegren. He was in a grade above me, and he had graduated, just graduated, so it was the summer before my senior year in high school. And he worked at camp all summer with his brother at Worcester College, and the last day of the camp, they were packing up to go home. He told his brother, "I'm going to go for a walk. I'll be back in a little bit." Never came back. A couple hours later, his brother went looking for him, could never find him. Finally got a search party, went out, and they found his body at the bottom of a lake. No one knows what happened, if he wanted to go swimming and just knocked his head, if something else happened, or what it was. But I remember getting that phone call. I was walking down the street with one of my best friends going to play basketball. It was real nice out, perfect day, sunny day, going to play, just place pickup a week before high school started, and you get this call that Alex was gone. And it really hit me as like, I got off the phone and I went, wait, what? Did that actually happen? Because it's so unrealistic that the kid you just saw all through high school, beautiful piano player, strong Christian, family, dad's a pastor, mom's a pastor, it's a strong Christian family, and to see him gone, it hit us hard. Now luckily, he was a strong Christian, so the viewing and the funeral happened before or while we were in high school, and I was able to go to it, and luckily, it was actually almost kind of rejoiced. The family was sad and everything, but they knew where Alex was. They knew what he was doing in his life and how he had acted, and the family was surprised to see how strong they could be, talking to everyone, greeting everyone, seeing if other people needed help, because they knew where Alex was going to be. The second kind of event that we had was my senior class. Every year the senior class in our high school has a theme to it, and once a month we'll meet with a teacher, a parent, and kind of go over what's going to happen after college, or what happens after high school, and what you're going to do with your life, and how you're going to act. And the theme of my class was being lukewarm. And so that really affected me, because we would sit down and talk and just talk about stuff and realize, how are you acting, like what are you doing? And I grew up with, like I said, 28 kids. 5 of us went to kindergarten together, 5 or 6 of us played sports together, and now all of a sudden we're all going to different schools. What are we going to do when we're not with each other to support each other and be with each other? How are you going to act? What are you going to do? So like I said, coming to Westminster's not a big school. It's not Penn State. It's not one of those huge party schools, but compared to VCCS, my high school, or compared to Geneva or Grove City, where I grew up next to, it's a liberal school. And there's things that you have to decide and you have to challenge yourself about. And the religion classes I took, the inquiry class I took, things that really challenge you, make you, why do you believe this? What do you want to believe? So that really helped to prepare me for college and then show me what way in the college. The third event, which is probably the hardest thing I've dealt with in my life, was a kid named Sam Dixon. Junior year, before I came back to school, about a week before soccer camp, my buddy and I were working a camp. We decided to work our high school camp. We wanted to help our coach, and we were going to go out and just work with the players. And I was working with the goalies, and we got there about a half hour late. They did their 2-mile run. They were laughing, stretching out, joking with each other. I was working with the goalies. They started the practice, and about an hour into practice, I hear my coach yell at me. I look up. All the players are on the field, just circle around something. So immediately I sprint over, take a couple goalies with me, and there's Sam just laying on the ground. What eventually happened was Sam's heart gave out, and he ended up dying right there on the field. And it was pretty tough because all these high school kids have each other standing there, and my buddy and I are standing there with our coach, not knowing what to do. Try to give him a little bit of CPR, try to give him a little help, but when you watch a sophomore in high school convulsing on the field, dying out, you don't know what to do. You're completely helpless. Medics got there, tried to give CPR for half an hour or so, but ultimately he ended up passing away on the field. The worst part of it probably was when his mom got there. One of her friends had driven her, and as soon as she got out of the car, she just started screaming in agony and pain, and it was probably the worst thing I've ever heard. And I can still hear him in my head at times just because it's a constant reminder of what can happen to people. It really hit home for me because 4 years ago I was on that field playing. Could have been me, could have been a teammate. I played soccer here, it could have happened here. It could happen to anyone. It really hit home. Now Sam, for being a sophomore in high school, was ridiculously religious. He was going on mission trips, helped out people when it worked in his church, and it still hurts his parents, I know. His mom still struggles, but at the same time, again, we know where Sam's going to be. We don't know why it happened. We don't know what the plan was, but you know where Sam's going to be. So that was very hard for me, but again, it shows you anything can happen to anyone at any time. My fourth event happened also that year. My Uncle Todd, he was 6'4", bigger than me, stronger than me. He had offers to play D1 football, but he ended up never doing it. He was a real important businessman for his company, traveled around the country. He would go check in, give seminars, teach, make sure everyone was being safe. And my junior year, Thanksgiving, all the family was together, and my uncle was just a shell of himself. He was very sick. We didn't know what it was. We thought he had a bug, picked up some virus or something, but he basically was stuck in a chair all of Thanksgiving. We could talk to him, but a lot of times he's just sleeping, just kind of sitting there being a shell of what he was before. By the next year, for Christmas break, we celebrated Christmas Day, and the next year we had to go to a service. To see a guy who was bigger than me, stronger than me, able to be his whole life ahead of him, and pass away within a year. It's again, what could happen to each of us? Each of us never knows what's going to happen, what it's going to be, how it's going to be. We may think we're young, may think we have life ahead of us, but you never know. So it's always kind of how are you going to act and where are you at right now in your life? Uncle Todd, my uncle, was also a Christian. So again, luckily for us, we know where he's at and we know what he's doing. But these 4 events really made an impact in my life. Really opened my eyes to what could happen. I hope you don't take away that this is just a depressing lunch break for you guys, but that it means something more to you and that you take away a message from this. And that coming to college, or as a lot of the seniors here, we're leaving college, no idea what's out there, no idea what our next chapter of life is going to be or where we're going to be at. But we're going to have experiences, we're going to have challenges. I hope we know where we stand when they come. Thank you.